Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Life is Drag and Then You Die. I am your host with the most, Amanda Lorian.
And I'm Moronica. I am the proud mother of 3 beautiful drag performers.
Oh my goodness, slay.
I'm Polly.
Polly what?
Polly Amethyst. Nice to meet you guys. It's an honor to be here with you. Big fans. I don't know what I am. I'm the dumb bitch of the house, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the man of the house.
Okay.
Freddie Lee.
Hello, Freddie.
Hello.
As Amanda Lorian, I have traveled far through space from an intergalactic planet known as Volvan, and I've landed here in little old Spokane with these 3 gutter bitches, and now we're here.
Yeah, we're here to make a podcast. We kind of just wanted to introduce ourselves for this first episode, kind of tell you why we wanted to start this podcast and what's in store for the future for Life is Drag Then You Die.
Yes.
I guess we can go around and introduce yourself and say what inspired you to start drag and what your aesthetic is and I guess your hopes for drag for you.
Polly, that was really amazing what you just did
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Remember when you
Need to
said you were
step
going
by
to
step.
look
I'm not gonna
at
remember.
him as the leader?
I know, and I was like, I slowly turned and I'm like, hey, beautiful.
Whatever. Well, I think it's fitting that the mother should start.
Okay, sure.
Start from the
Mommy.
very beginning.
The very beginning, it was 1998, April 1st, 11 a.m. in the morning.
What a joke.
Fucking joke.
Well, I don't know. I keep having these moments recently where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a full circle moment for my drag. But it started gradually. I mean, there were small things with drag in it that I liked and I didn't even realize it was drag. One of the more recent things I realized was Miss Congeniality 2. There's a whole scene where they are pretending to be drag queens and they're with a bunch of performers, and there's this really famous drag queen that does a lot of Tina Turner numbers that she ended up being on RuPaul's Drag Race for the finale. They gave her a little nod and RuPaul was really sweet to her. So that was kind of one small thing, but around 2016 RuPaul's Drag Race really popped off.
Who is RuPaul?
She's just this girl that,
okay.
She's a little bit underground. I don't know if you've heard of her. Not a lot of people have.
Yeah, she's really obscure.
Yeah.
But it was season 9, and there was that big Sasha Velour moment where she had her wig reveal, where she brought up her wig and the rose petals fell. You all remember, you were all there.
And if you don't know, then go look it up right now.
Yeah. And ever since that moment, me and Freddie, we've both shared a love for drag, and over the past couple years, I've practiced my makeup. And back in May of last year, I had my first performance, and I've performed 4 or 5 times since
We
then.
counted.
We
It has
counted,
been
actually.
7 times.
Oh, 7 times.
Seven.
Yeah, she's established.
Slay.
She's established.
Yeah.
That's
Lucky number 7.
Yeah, it's 7 days in a week. That's crazy.
What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, good job.
I'm so proud of you.
And one of those kind of full circle moments is and I kind of why I feel I was born to do drag is when I would listen to just kind of pop artists when I was younger, I would use them to empower yourself, and I would picture myself as the performer, Marina and the Diamonds, and I'm gonna do a Marina and the Diamonds song tomorrow. And I'm really excited about that. But I just remember riding in the back of my Christian conservative parents' car, listening to Marina, and I'm I'm that bitch.
Mm-hmm. Literally, that part of it of I just didn't realize how much was drag before being up in drag and understanding it, because
Right.
watching Project Runway, I'm none of this is practical clothing. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it doesn't need to be practical. It's cunt, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And drag queens would wear this, and then it's Lady Gaga, as a kid, it was why is she so weird? And she was just doing drag. It's just that's what she was doing. She was making a statement, and I just didn't realize it until like understanding it more now of like all the things that I was exposed to, and just like
Right.
didn't realize it was drag.
How many years it's been like prevalent, and it was just like I had no idea. That had to do with like my growing up, but still, it's just like continuously evolving.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
Are you done?
Yeah, sorry. I feel like it took a long time. I was like, I just kept thinking of more
Hurry
things. I'm
up.
like, there's so much to say about me.
No, this is pretty much like kind of the premise of this episode. So take as much time as you need.
Yeah,
thank
I'd
you.
like to speak on you.
Ooh.
Of like,
Aw.
I just remember when we first met, and like when you finally opened up, like, oh, I do makeup sometimes, and you would like show me pictures, and I just like did not know what drag was. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really a lot of makeup, and I'm like,
This isn't what James Charles does.
and then I remember the first time that you put us, I think I was the first one you put in drag in the living room. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
put on,
Yeah, you were ugly.
Oh, it
yeah,
was
sorry.
gutter.
You kind of look like how you do right now.
and I just remember you put on season 4 Drag Race, and I still was like, I don't get this stupid shit, and like I just didn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we watched a couple episodes, and then even like then you came back and you did Polly's makeup and you did Moira's makeup, and so it was just like we watched it every time you came over then, and I just like didn't appreciate it until I watched it, later on in life. But that was just a fun time of like why you're all our drag mother, because you put us up in the drags for the first time.
I loved buying you your first makeup box.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was about
God,
to say
that was so
like,
cute.
you guys like really started me out because I was just kind of using Freddie's like regular everyday girl makeup, and it wasn't a lot.
It was
And-
from Fred Meyers.
and I was still apprehensive
So
about it.
cute,
And
yeah.
then you guys bought me that kit, and I was like, okay, like this is like
is
the
the
push I
sign.
need. And I just wanted to like show you guys I was using the makeup you got me, and I
Yes.
was like appreciative of it.
Well, and like big shout out to Moira, because Moira, when she gets a gift,
She goes all
Yeah,
out.
she
she
goes
gets
hard.
a fucking gift,
Yeah.
and she gets 20 other things on top of that. And so
Yeah,
like when we went to
it is-
Sephora,
Shopping
and it
was
was
so
just like
fun.
shelves and shelves into the basket, and she's like, he'll need this, and we're like, okay, like
Heel,
I was talking
you're
about Freddie.
canceled.
I guess. Or who wants
Do you want to go
next?
next, Freddie, since you probably were exposed to it earlier than us?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Freddie's known about drag a lot longer than you two.
I can
It doesn't
piggyback
show.
off Moronica. Yeah, so I'd like to fact check you on season 9. We watched a little bit before season 9, I think.
Read
And
her.
Yeah, and season 9 was the first season that we watched like as it was airing. I think that's the one we like first watched together.
This just in, Moronica's a liar and a cheat.
Yeah.
Can't trust
Wait,
me.
Trust
this
her.
just in.
Yeah.
I've known that. We've been here.
I remember the first drag queen I really loved was Alaska Thunderfuck.
Yeah.
And we still do. And we still
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
She has music out that I would always listen to, and I have like old Snapchats when I even used Snapchat still, so that's how you know it was a long time ago.
Some of us still do.
Embarrassing.
Not
But
what's on it.
I have like weird videos of me singing "This Is My Hair," like
You should have gone musically famous from that.
I literally should have. But yeah, so I started. I feel like Moronica still introduced me to it first, and then we kind of got into it together. I really loved Alaska. Christine on Vine also got me into drag a lot because
Mary Chrysler.
yeah, Mary
Christine
Chrysler.
Sudoku. Yeah.
She did a whole video like with Sharon Needles and I think a couple other queens that's on YouTube.
Right,
And she was like,
yeah.
she was like backstage with them, and I was like, Sharon Needles is the biggest drag queen ever. Oh my god.
At one point, she was.
Yeah, and I just thought it was so cool that she was just hanging out with them, and then I feel like it only took like a year, and we went to our first like drag show. And
Who was it?
Alaska Willem and Courtney Axe.
Oh,
The triple A
girl.
girl.
The AAA girls. And that was like in 2017. But we literally like we walked in, we bought meet and greet tickets, of course, and like Willem.
We had regular admission like tickets, and on the drive there, we upgraded. We bought whole ass new tickets, like
Oh, I forgot about
Damn.
that.
to get meet and greet.
We decided it was worth it.
Damn,
this is
that
when
would
I
clean y'all
had first
out.
moved out, like on my own, living in that old lady's basement. So
Love her.
I should not have been spending the way I was. Sorry, you continue.
It was worth it. Like, you're here now and you're alive and well.
yeah.
And
I
very
made it through,
happy.
and I saw the AAA girls and met them. Oh.
But yeah, so we went to that, and Willem was just like walking around like 5 feet away from me. And like, to me, after watching like Drag Race, I was like, these are the biggest celebrities ever. This is huge right now.
I was thinking about that literally today too, because all I consume is drag podcasts, and I'm just like, the way that like in gay world, this is like A-list celebrity status to us, you know, and so I feel the same way.
Yeah. And talking to any regular that doesn't know, like, I'm like, oh, I guess they're not as big as sometimes as I think. But
Or
to
you
me,
just, you know that you need to keep your distance from them.
yeah, to me, I'm like, that's a celeb. That's Lady Gaga.
It is.
Yeah. So we kind of got into it together. I, of course, followed Mother's lead. Mother was the brave one that wanted to go out first and really do drag and explore.
Which is like a slay. Like, the fact that you did that alone, because all of us rely on each other. We're like, okay, when are you performing? We gotta perform on the same night. But you were just like, fuck y'all, I'm doing this shit and I'm gonna own it.
Well, I
Yes.
didn't know that you guys were going to do it at that point, and I was
Right.
like, I've worked too hard on this, and then also I was like, I hate my job, and I'm not doing. I don't have any other plans with my life. I'm like, I need to at least have like one thing where I'm like making improvements and like growing and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Just because. I don't know. I'm like, it's just, I don't have a plan. I might as well try out drag.
Right. And like, the thing is, this is the new age that I am embracing.
Yeah.
It's just like, work fucking sucks. Work will always suck. But like, if we have these like side things that could potentially even like make us money way down the line, like really go for that, because that's just like, life is so short. Not to be that bitch, but life is so short, and to not do like what you truly want to do because of whatever's holding you back, like that sucks.
Yeah, and I've been lucky to be friends with Amanda. What's her name? Because she's
Write this down.
she's always been kind of open about like, I'm meant to be famous, and I've kind of been that way too. But I'm not gonna say that out loud.
And what's so funny too is that like when I was a kid, the way that I was like, I know I'm meant to be famous. It's just because like I was very flamboyant. I was like, I need to be an actor of some kind, you know. But like that was literally just me being gay and being like, I just my
Wanting an outlet of some sort.
Yeah, literally. I still am meant to be famous. So like I just it's impossible that at some point the world won't know my fucking name.
Yeah.
And what is it again?
Amanda Lorian.
She doesn't know her own name. I don't know my name.
Well, I also was just gonna say that like I didn't watch Drag Race until literally last year when you started performing, because I was like, oh shit, this bitch is actually taking this seriously. I feel like, and the thing was is that like I knew Trixie and Katya, like I watched and I listened to Bald and Beautiful, and I think I was listening to Sibling Rivalry at that point. But that was also like all of them were beginning like famous on TikTok, you know, so I like knew them from there, but I had never watched the show yet still. And so when you started doing performances, I was like, I need to like know my shit. And so I binged all the seasons, and Jez, Polly,
Fuck is that?
Is Jez in the room with us right now?
she's behind the camera, sorry. Polly like joined halfway through, and we just, finish it out, and then
Yeah,
Nick
I was
started
like,
You
watching
girls
popping in
love
and
a
out.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to binge, and that's the way that I keep knowledge, is of consuming it all at once. But yeah, so that's also kind of what drove me into like really wanting to do it too, because I was like, this shit is so good.
Yeah.
And it sounds really sweet, but it was really fucking annoying.
Wait, was it actually? Was it
No,
actually?
it was more just kind of like, because I mean,
We've been
how,
done knowing.
how long were we friends before?
Right.
And we would be like, drag race, drag
Yeah,
queens,
you guys
blah, 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 blah.
watch. This season's so good.
I'm
To
like,
be
what are you talking about
completely
cars
honest,
for?
I do not remember any of that.
Yeah.
And like, even when we first started watching it, I was
Polly.
like, what is this show? Like, who is RuPaul? What is this show? And I know, and I apologize. My heart goes out to you.
no,
I'm so sorry. I probably wasn't listening when you were telling me about it for the first time. You know how I do. So, yes, but I get it.
Obviously, I'm happy that you guys got into it.
Right.
But
Just
it
a little
was,
late bloomers.
this girl, she acts like she discovers everything like, oh, I just discovered this new thing, Drag
Wait, you're
Race.
so right. The way she finds something that's like 2 years old and she's like, this is my entire
And
personality
tell
now.
you, it's like the know-it-all who like tries to talk to you about something you're an expert on.
Yeah.
Except, bitch, because the way that I get secondhand info from Race Chasers and then immediately tell you guys as
you
if,
do
like,
have that
I
insider
discovered
info.
it. Yeah. Well, it's because I have so much time on my hands to just boom, boom, boom podcasts. Like the way that every Rue girl, I'll have their fucking podcast done by the end of the year just because it's so easy for me to binge them.
To be honest, Andrew, I think it's just you that knows this information because you
Who's
know...
Andrew?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. That's so hard.
Is there someone behind me?
Because you know Ali and I aren't fucking ever paying attention to anything. Wait, sorry.
Someone knock her in the head.
Freddie. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sniper.
Please.
Cute.
Mercy.
It is such a funny thing the way that the naming works because if I meet a queen out in public, don't ever tell me your real name. I don't want to
Yes.
know it. You are forever this person to me.
Right.
You know? But like, because we have such an established relationship beforehand, it's like,
A little bit hard.
oh, it's so
Yeah,
hard.
it's tough.
We'll get into it.
Hold on. You guys didn't talk about like why you chose your name.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's a bunch of things I feel like we need to circle back around to, because like I feel like we should talk about like first performances too, because I never got into my first performance, and
Yeah.
and Freddie over here didn't quite get to that point either. Was there
Right.
anything else you would like to say about getting into drag? I
Yeah.
want to circle back to you because
Right.
someone. This is
Someone
me.
took over
This,
this
this is
conversation.
the Bully
Me, girl.
Amanda podcast. Welcome. I'm sorry. I'll
Damn.
stop.
No.
I don't know, to kind of carry on what you said, I feel like it's good for you because you are so creative and you like need that outlet. I feel like almost to like do something creative, and you hated your job. So this was just kind of perfect. And I also kind of have that creative itch, but maybe not quite as much as you. Like I have certain things, but I'm very particular about where I'm creative. But like drag is like a really good catch-all. Like it's like, there's so many different things that you can do with drag. So I feel like,
I love the way you said that.
oh, thank you.
They're gonna. Oh, sorry. No, I'm gonna say that.
I'm gonna be saying that all the
Shut up.
time. It's a really good catch-all.
There's just so many
never
things you
heard
can do
that
with
statement.
it.
No, you're so right though.
Yeah. So we're creative in different ways, but I feel like it still like works for this.
Yeah.
T.
Polly, would you like to tell us about kind of how your drag started?
Before she goes, I love
Of course. Right.
I love you being like, I love Freddie's white concealer around her eyes, and yet you read Mistress to the fucking ground every single week for having the same shit.
Oh my
I
God,
blended
it's so
mine in
much
with my
different.
blue Fallout, so that's how it works.
It's so much different. You know it, bitch.
I've already decided like that I'm not gonna talk shit about any queens because they're all gonna be my best friends someday. So
Oh, yeah.
you need to cut that
This
out.
is Mistress's best friend over here,
Yeah.
everybody. Mistress's best
I
friend.
hope she wins.
You're in your friend era.
Oh, all of a sudden you hope she
I
wins,
love.
huh?
I kind of hope everybody wins.
Go ahead, Polly.
Oh.
Let me hit the mic.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys kind of heard like I was a little bit of a late bloomer, okay?
But you've always been a queen.
He's a T. Yeah, I'm also pretty creative. Like Andrew and I have, fuck me. Moronica and I have always related on that of just like we love the arts and
fashion.
and fashion. And as Andrew was transitioning into this,
Girl,
like,
I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
what am I doing?
You said Andrew.
Oh my God.
It's fine. We won't correct it anymore.
We'll cut out the whole episode.
No, it's stopping now. Okay.
Look at me.
Can we
Who do I
edit
look
in
like
like
to
a
you?
bleep, like it's a swear word every time?
No. Okay. Moronica. Fuck. Okay.
Yes.
As Andrew. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. The thing is, my brain works like that. Anything that happened 2 seconds prior, that is long gone. I have that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Anyway, Moronica. As Moronica was transitioning into like this creative world of drag.
Transitioning.
Shut up.
Leave her alone.
Sorry.
Yeah. Bully Amanda, love Polly. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
She's so much prettier than you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just like admiring that, and she just opened a whole new world for me. And I got into it like so quickly. It was just like this new. It was almost like a combination of like everything that I love. So, like art, it's just art on your face, basically. I love fashion, always have, and that's just a way to express that. And once I realized that it was just pretty much everything I love in one thing, I was like, I am going fucking balls deep in this shit. Sorry.
Wow.
And yeah, I feel like the rest is history.
Herstory.
Her story.
Her story.
Oh wait, I think they did that in church.
Also, another thing, I'm super obsessed with myself. So this is just another way for me to be
For
more
behavior.
Well, you've had
Obsessed with
stage
myself.
presence before you were even on the stage.
Yeah.
So
That's so
that's why I
funny.
say that you've always been a queen. Is like you've always like you like for going out. You've always done a little bit more than any other girl, and you've always you've pushed boundaries and like done things that are kind of like not the norm. And even though it's like it could be something that is kind of trendy, but it's still like it was scary for us for where we come from and just kind of our church
Right.
background, and we were with like the Christian autumn girl vibe.
Yeah. But I feel like I started doing that once I started getting into drag because I'm like, it's just opened so many doors for me. Like, drag showed me that I can be literally anything, like anything that I want. And I didn't know that before. And I feel like that's what I've always wanted. Even growing up, it was like, I hate me. Okay, sorry. I hate me so much. I love to change. I love to like adapt so much. And I think this was just like one of those moments. I just realized my sunglasses were making my nose plug. So I don't know if I sounded like nasally that whole time.
No, it was hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, I lost my train of thought already. It's a beautiful thing.
It was like a poem.
It's just been this beautiful thing for me to like vessel my creativity and
Vessel.
And be that bitch.
be that bitch. Yeah. Thank you for saying that I have stage presence. That's another reason why I started is because I just really wanted to push myself on like what makes me nervous, because at that time in my life, there was so many aspects of my life that I decided I was going to face head on, feel all the feelings and just fucking do it. Because at the same time I had the realization like, we only have one life and your life is beautiful, which I'm still like that, but I still have to make fun of myself.
So would you maybe say YOLO?
That is so, wait, hold on. What does that stand for?
You only live once. They were so right when they said that.
Oh, I
They
thought you made it
were.
up.
They, them.
I got Andrew for once. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Don't make this into a drinking game because you will die.
Yeah. You said, anyway. over to me. I feel like that too, very similar to Polly, is because Polly and I, back in the day, we used to be running the stage at the youth group. So we've been around the block or two with this, stage stuff. But like discovering drag really was like what opened the door for so many things for me, because I feel like I didn't really know, because I can be creative, but I just have too many thoughts in my head that I can't actually execute any of them. And I feel like drag kind of helped me to be like, oh, I can like vessel into a lot of the areas
Can
that
you use that as a verb?
we
Or did
are.
I make that up?
We're using it now.
Okay.
Into a lot of the things that I love about, being queer and stuff like that. And that another thing too of
Wait.
like, oh my God.
You're
wait.
queer.
Yeah, it's so weird. That's another
What?
thing too, though, is that I feel like drag really opened a lot of doors for me in my queerness, which is why I embrace it so much, because I didn't really know what kind of like group of gay guy that I kind of fit in? What things am I interested in? You know, because I just don't
We
really
could start
have.
at bottoms.
You're not wrong about that, girl. But since we were, you know, in the closet for so long, and I like to use the term that I'm a new gay, but like,
She's new to the scene.
because I really am, because I didn't ever put any thought into it for so long.
Yeah.
And so I feel like drag was the first time since like coming out and like embracing that side of me of like, oh, this is like, I love this group. I love being a part of it.
You have something to say too?
Oh, I thought we were just praising Mason.
No, I have a statement.
Go ahead, girl.
Well, now I feel like I forgot it.
Okay, thank you so
Was
much.
it Andrew?
I feel like when you were closeted and the scene that we were in, we didn't realize how much of our identity had lied in being queer, and that was just so suppressed for so long. And even when we came out, it still didn't even hit us that this was so much of our identity until like pretty recently, where we're like, this is something that I really resonate with, and this is who I am, and I would love to share that. So
Yeah, I just feel like it's the place where I feel most myself. And so discovering that was like the great part of it, because I'm like, ooh, this is the girl I am right here, you know.
What's your name again?
Amanda Lorian.
Oh.
Speaking of names, girl, Amanda Lorian, if you know anything about anything, you understand what that is. But I have a nerdy side to me. The way that they talked about, I have obsessive personality. So I've intaken everything I can about Star Wars that's watchable. And so
I got you.
Amanda Lorian is the play on The Mandalorian. And Mother helped me with that one because I'm not smart.
Welcome
Go
to the
ahead,
club.
Tarabelle. I mean, Moronica. Tarabelle is dead.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Talk
Where'd
about
you
your
name
name.
from, bitch?
Oh, my
That
name?
was a smooth transition. Come on.
I wasn't ready to talk yet.
Oh,
My name is Bella Hadid. No, I mean, one of the things I've loved about drag is like the wit and the humor of it. And so when I kind of started learning about like drag names, like Sharon Needles is like, what would you call it? Is that a pun? Is that a play on words?
Play on words, I would say.
porque no los dos.
I don't know. I'm not very smart. I was homeschooled.
It shows.
But so anything that I heard, I just kind of like listen.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I want to know what's going on
We
over
had
here.
to take a Spanish lesson break.
She said something in Spanish and it just surprised me, and I just asked what it meant.
Was it like, you're very beautiful?
Yeah, actually.
What did you say?
Freddie's flirting
I
with me
said
over here,
porque
and you
no
kinda
los
ruined it.
dos.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody knows Spanish around
actually a
here.
moment
All
for
of a
me
sudden
there.
everyone's fluent in Spanish.
Anyways.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No,
Holly
it's
was
okay.
also homeschooled, if you...
Oh,
The way you just outed me?
Were you ever homeschooled?
No. Oh, I was 1 year.
She was homeschooled, y'all. That's why she's so fucking weird.
No. the thing
private
is-
Christian education might as well be
Yeah,
homeschool.
I was gonna say. I think what's like past homeschooling is private Christian school.
That just makes you a bitch, though.
Hello.
a bitch or
A bad bitch, yeah. Kind.
Both. Hello.
Cunt.
And
Pussy.
porque or whatever you said. Why not both?
Yeah, slay.
porque no los dos.
Porque no les dos. Bitch or cunt.
We were
Why
talking.
not
We've been
both?
kind of talking about like if we did segments on this. I feel like Freddie should do like Spanish lessons, like word of the day. So names. I would just hear things and I would listen, kind of just because that was on my brain. So like one time, my father asked me what I had been up to, and he said Robin Banks, and I was like, "That's sickening." Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
"Yay."
Wait a
killed
minute.
that.
And so I was looking for new things, and I would try to find something that would fit what I thought my drag persona might be.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed throughout, like how I did my makeup and what wigs I liked wearing. And I was sitting on Tarabelle hygiene for a while, but it sounds a little bit too southern to me, and it you have to say it in a certain way for like people to get it. And I had this one coworker who I fucking hated, and I
Say
would,
their name.
It was
I
like
dare you.
it was like Josh. I didn't actually hate him, but I was mean to him because he was
hear
just
that?
Doubling
kinda,
back.
he was kind of fucking annoying. And we had kind of like rapport and like being bitches to each other, but I was better at it. And one time there was just like a mobile order and it just said for like Veronica, and I was like, if you were a drag queen, you'd be Moronica. And I was like, wait.
You wrote
I was
that
like,
down.
TM, that's mine. And the first time I put on like a cute little black wig, I was like, okay, Moronica.
There she is.
It's kind of inspired by Elvira, because I had just recently watched that movie for the first time, and I loved her character's like duality and just like how she encompassed so many things, because like she was like sexy, but she was also like tough and smart and stupid, and I just like, oh, that's great. And also I like to cover my bases and just be like, yeah, I said that stupid thing because I'm Moronica, ha 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 ha.
So smart.
Yeah. Love it.
Thank you.
Polyamethyst. Well, you all know who came out with that one because
No one here is smart.
if you didn't know, I am not clever or smart in any way.
You're Moronica too.
This is not the
I know.
Hate
Okay,
on
wait.
Polly
Actually,
podcast.
No.
It's the Hate on Amanda
I just
podcast.
said I was a bad bitch. I
Okay.
can be a bad bitch and amazing and beautiful, but also kind of dumb, and that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
do you
not
want to trade names?
honestly when you were talking about it. I'm like, that's me actually. Yeah, polyamethyst. Obviously, Moronica came up with that. See what I did there.
Yeah, good
because
job, you nailed
she is super clever. Do I say a polyamethyst? I mean, you get it. It kind of is a play on words for polyamorous, which I am.
Can we get a shout? Can we give a shout out to someone in the room with us right now?
Oh yeah, behind the cam we've got
Brennan.
We've got my other partner Nick, and I don't know if anyone. I don't know. I'm assuming everyone knows, but Amanda is my wife. We are legally married, and then I have another partner named Nick. He is behind the camera. His drag name is Terabyte because he's a huge nerd. And
Slay.
The guy in the chair.
Can Nick come on camera for a second?
Yeah.
So we can, because Nick looks extra cute today.
yeah, he looks super
Nick's
cute.
funny.
We're on YouTube.
Nick feature. We are on
Live in the
YouTube.
studio.
Nicholas.
Hello.
Good job.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
Have you podcast before? Howdy, partner.
Yeah, and so polyamethyst came from that. I feel like I try to represent like Barbie, a little bit like bad bitch, like in my own world. I literally don't give a fuck about anything or anyone. Well, I do care and love, but I'm just saying like other people's opinions of
Damn.
me.
Whoa.
No. I'm sorry. Other people's like judgment or opinions of me. I feel like that's something that I like
Yeah.
really take pride in.
And she loves crystals and stones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, amethyst. Obviously, I wish I was born in February, but what?
Only some of us can be that lucky.
You would have turned out like her.
I didn't mention with my name, like with Amanda, I like to go for the space vibe. I like to go for the like mod kind of 50s, Julie Jetson hooker kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, did I just say Julie?
I was
You did.
trying to think so hard who it actually
Jetson
was.
Hooker. And so that's kind of
You
the
were
vibe I go
definitely
for.
giving hooker.
I don't usually accomplish it just because things are limited at the moment. But that's the vibe that I'm really going for, is that like
You're
kind of
giving it,
spacey
girl.
mod girl. Okay, thank you.
This is why I don't say nice things to her.
You. Okay, sorry, Freddie. I just had to add that in there because I always forget everything.
My God.
The man of the house is angry, and you don't want to make the man of the house angry.
I'm wearing a wife beater under this.
Also, me and Freddie are fiancés, so this is like double dating.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
That's like a running joke.
Yeah, that's my Beyonce over there.
Yeah.
I'm her Beyonce. You get it. We're double dating, but
So given with that, a lot of bi icons in the room.
My name.
Thank you, Freddie.
My name, Freddie. I was just literally stolen from Freddie Mercury because I love him. And I feel like there's just not a lot of good king representation in the world.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
But there's RuPaul's Drag Race. It's all women, you know. There's not,
Right.
I mean, female impersonators. There's not really kings. I think I saw one king on an international season one time. But I feel like I just want to see more kings, and I was like, I'm gonna become the thing that I want to see, and
I love that.
Wow.
Beautiful.
We're going to have so many good sound bites from you. Just
oh my
like
gosh, thank you.
inspirational like things.
Yeah, I didn't know I was an inspirational speaker, but
Every time you speak, I just like cry a little.
oh, that's so sweet.
In
But
pain.
I feel like a lot of the kings I have seen too don't really do the style of music that I like prefer. So that's something else that like inspired me. Like I just want to be like Freddie Mercury, like very rock and roll. And then my last name, Levon, it's kind of a play on an Elton John song, who is my other love and inspiration. There's just literally a song called Levon. It's spelled differently than how I do it. I changed the spelling on mine just a little because I just thought it was easier to pronounce because it kind of looked like Levin, and I didn't want that confusion.
I remember having
was
that
just
problem.
thinking about, I'm like, Leavon.
It's just Levon is the Elton John song.
Gotcha.
And my spelling is Lee space VON.
Yeah.
No room for mistakes.
Right.
And then I also like adding things to like the end of my name. So right now I'm Freddie Levon Podcast. And I can just do that with it, literally anything.
On podcast.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Hey.
that's so smart.
Thank you.
Levon. What did we say the other day? That was funny. Freddie Levon.
I don't know.
The lights, I don't know.
Oh, Freddie Levon, leave it. Freddie Levon or take it off.
Oh.
That's
Freddie.
like,
Freddie, stay or should she go? I also love the thing you said about like I want to become the thing I want to see, because a lot of it is kind of hard to digest sometimes, of like white kings singing a lot of black rap music and really not showing if they're saying the correct words or not. And so I really like the vibe that you're going for,
Right, yeah.
because we don't see a lot of that where we're at, because a lot of it is just like, oh, I'm going to be really hyper masculine and I'm going to be really, into rap kind of thing. And it's like,
But there's so many like outlets, not discrediting what they do,
Of course.
but that often is the only representation of kings, at least in Spokane.
well,
Yeah.
and I feel like when I was just saying this, it kind of reminded me of Gottmik, because Gottmik was always like, it was really hard for me to like want to make the transition, because I always felt people always put me in this bubble of like, oh, if you're going to transition, like you need to be more masculine kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, well, I don't see it, like you can be a man and still be feminine. It's called like being gay men,
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of the time, so he was just saying that like he felt that pressure, but he's like, I'm just gonna live my true self of like I'm just a gay twink,
Yeah.
And so I kind of feel like a lot of the time people are just like, I need to go to an extreme, when it doesn't need to be an extreme always.
and
Yeah.
to clarify, Gottmik is a trans man who does female impersonation. So that's kind of why it was
A
hard.
topic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
And I kind of feel like that about like being bisexual too, because I feel like people have such some narrow
By erasure.
a narrow
Yes.
idea of what a bisexual looks like, and it's usually like straight passing.
Right here, Henny.
We're all straight passing.
I actually might be.
Yeah. Hey.
Take off those glasses,
We-
girl.
we've seen your
Let's
eyes.
see
Oh,
that
wait, yeah.
makeup. You've been
I've
wearing
been
those the
wanting you to
whole
show that off.
time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, she's beautiful. Let her be herself. I think she's really
Sorry.
brave.
Just when I think Andrew's being nice to me. All of a sudden I'm not cool anymore when I have the glasses off.
Yeah,
You're not smart either.
God.
Sorry,
No, did you say you're not smart enough?
you're not smart either without.
Oh, I was just about to say, like, I can think better when, like, the glasses are on for some reason.
I can't see with sunglasses on. I'm like,
That's exactly why.
I'll never wear a pair of sunglasses till the day. I'll squint in the sun for the rest of my life. I don't care.
If I could go to sleep with sunglasses on, I would.
Yeah.
It's called like
I forgot
sleeping
mine.
mask.
Yeah.
you-
Did we cover everyone?
For names,
What about her?
Ooh.
That's Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
Ooh, we haven't talked about like our first numbers.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
What?
we could also give a shout out to this beautiful piece of artwork that
Oh, how the
Jessica,
turns of
this
tables.
artist that does a lot of commissions for us. What?
I'm pointing. Go
Oh.
closer to the mic. There you go.
Can we give a quick shout out to this beautiful
I
piece
just
of
want to make
art
sure everyone hears.
that Polly made for us? And it's got all our faces. Life is a drag.
There's
Life is
Moronica,
drag. And then you die.
There's Amanda.
You
There's
pointed at yourself
Freddie.
and said there's Moronica.
and there's Polly.
They traded names, remember?
Beautiful.
Where the name comes from, do you want to speak on that, Moronica? Since you came up with it like you do everything.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, it's kind of just like, that, life imitates art. And to us, life is drag. And drag can be a number of things, as we talked about earlier.
As RuPaul says, you're all born naked and
And the rest is drag, mama. And so we're living that, we're doing that, and at the end of your life, you do die. So it's not meant to be morbid, it's just like a fact.
Yeah,
facts.
no.
One
Yeah,
sentence.
guys. Everybody dies.
We originally started with life's a drag, then you die, because that just like is a very like pretty common saying. But then when we were talking about, the title and what it means to us,
We were worried about it being a little bit too morbid.
I mean, too morbid. And I was saying, like, the way I saw it is life is drag. Like, everything encompassing life is drag is a very beautiful thing. And then you die, and that's also a very beautiful thing. And we just want to...
Unless it's your biggest fear like mine.
Well, that's what this is an intervention.
Oh.
Stop being scared of death.
Oh, I thought it was to quit doing drag.
Yeah, so we just kind of want to talk about our life with drag, how we're progressing, because obviously we're still very new to this. I mean, Moronica's a little more established, but you would still consider yourself like new, right?
Yeah, I have.
Well, look at her makeup, you can tell. Oh.
Damn, girl.
Oh,
I haven't been performing in drag for a full year yet, so
It's
that's,
getting close.
yeah. So I think just to be able to document our progress will be really cool, and we hope that other people also want to see that.
Yeah, and I kind of thought about this earlier too, about like the way that like drag has like given me life kind of thing. Like it's also just made our group stronger because we're all hyper invested in this one thing, and it's made us really close.
Super close,
you
yeah.
know, which I'm so thankful for. And I think this is fun of us, keeping tabs on what we're doing, talking about the thing that we love. And, Moronica said it too, of like, we're going to have segments sometimes, we don't really know exactly what those will be, but like I said, I'm a new gay, and so I missed out on a lot that I haven't caught up on yet. And so a big focus of mine...
sucking dick and cock.
Sucking dick and cock! I've caught up on that, honey. That's fine. But I think that, there's a lot of like iconic movies that we haven't seen that, would be, curriculum for being queer. And there's a lot of history and that we just don't know that I think we should know. And so I want to kind of use this as like, the motivation to be like, okay, let's learn about the art that we're so in love
Invested
with,
in.
because that's a thing, that's a common thing of like, especially within queer culture of like, you need to know your history because it's important, It's the same with, people of color too. Like they know their history more than common white people because they don't really need to know it, but like, it's important to know the community you're a part of because there's lessons there, and there's like I get so emotional all the time too when I like see things about like the AIDS crisis, and just like when I see older gay people, I'm like, oh my gosh, like look at them, because it's good to see. And so I think it's just important that we recognize them and learn from them instead of just ignoring them.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more about where drag comes from and its origins, the origin story.
And I think we should have like, sometimes we should have like homework of like we have to watch this movie and come back and talk about it next week.
Yeah, that would be cool. And
Yeah.
there's tons.
So many that
there's
we still
just
haven't seen.
So much media that we need to consume. And
And we love a good movie night.
and also we love talking. Like, we love talking about the media we just consumed or like goss about the hot goss. So,
We can't say that.
oh, sorry. Trademarked?
Trademarked.
Oh,
I thought you were like doing a little bit there. That's so funny.
Thank you. I am funny.
Anything else? What time is it? How long
Well,
is it?
how much?
What time,
Hey,
what time are we supposed to be done?
Time
time check.
10
minutes?
minutes? Oh, okay. How can we wrap it up? We kind of just talk about our first performances and then kind of end it there, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, Moronica, Mother, go first, please. Once again.
Alrighty.
Once again.
Championship 7 performances under her belt.
Yeah.
It's Moronica.
Okay, so me wanting to start drag, I didn't know exactly where I could perform or how to get into that. But my first kind of outing in like drag was at Rocky Horror Picture Show. I dressed up as Frankenfurter.
I forgot. Oh, that was so
And
good.
I actually was talking to this person in line, and their makeup was done up in drag, and I was like, "You're so beautiful!" Like,
Do you remember who it
did you
was?
do your makeup? And I didn't say it like that because someone said that to me. And I said, "Fuck you." But it just led to me finding out that I think Eden had done their makeup, and I was like, "Oh, I'm actually thinking about getting into drag. Like, where do they perform at? Like, how do I like get into this?" And I was told about Amateur Night at Lion's Lair on Thursdays.
At Lion's Lair on
Lion's
Instagram.
Lair on Thursdays, yeah, in Spokane, Washington.
Don't tell them where we live.
And so I just started practicing. I picked a number. I did I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. I thought that was just kind of
forgot
like
you did
funny
that.
because I'm in a relationship with a girl. Slay.
And you
Which is
kissed
also
her.
kind of like, especially in, I feel like it's still kind of like just a newer.
A risque song, kind of.
Well,
yeah.
it's so risque. But
Well,
like
when I
a
was
lot,
a
of,
kid,
a
it
lot of
was.
people aren't used to seeing, like bisexuality. I feel like that's still like it's like you're either one or the other, and like a drag queen being bisexual,
Right.
like I feel
Like,
like
it's out there for sure, but
Yeah.
there's not much representation.
it's usually just
Yeah.
like gay, just gay.
And I had just finished like my padding, and I didn't have like any clothes. Like, so in my first performance, I'm wearing I have 2 pairs of heels now, and the one that I always wear. And then I was wearing my pads. Did I say that I finished those? I just finished my
Your
pads.
extra large
So
pads.
I had a beautiful figure, and I got a new corset, but it was just me in like underwear and a black wife beater, man pleaser.
The
I
way
don't
that
know.
we were like, you're eating
And I-
too.
and I
You
wore-
did.
and I wore
You
this
look
wig.
so
you
good.
did wear that wig. That's so cute.
Yeah, it was giving kind of like burlesque because
For sure.
I think that's what she gives in the video.
You give such Dita Von Teese energy when you are up in the drag.
Your makeup looked a lot like this too, without like the white face for your first number as well.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Those pursed lips.
And the eyes.
And
brows,
whenever I
eyebrows.
perform, I kind of just pick a song, and I want to kind of pull people into a vibe. Sounds stupid, but I just like have a
No.
whole vision of like this outfit, this dancing, this makeup all goes with this song.
It's
and
an
I'm
experience.
telling a story. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're a part of it.
Right.
And that was my first number, and it's hard watching yourself perform, and I still have so much I need to work on. I'm learning as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
I've nailed the makeup.
Okay.
Just kidding. But
No, I agree. You're fantastic.
Yeah,
for
no.
me, my biggest thing is I want to work on my performances, and I have pushed like my boundaries more and more like each time I perform.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Polly,
My first performance was
the 3 of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
all,
all of us actually.
yeah, we all.
Not
well,
like
us-
in the same number, but we were like we all performed that night.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be associated with you in that way. And it was to what the fuck is it called? Gwen Stefani. Nicholas?
What you waiting for?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Is not that not the second one I did?
What you waiting? What you waiting? What you waiting?
Okay, yeah.
What you waiting
It
for?
was What You Waiting For by Gwen Stefani. And I just feel like my second number was also Gwen Stefani. My girl Gwen just like captures everything that I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was at Lion's Lair at Amateur Track.
There was a car accident.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
The city,
Yeah.
it's
City
buzzing.
Life. Yeah, it was super fun. I was pretty intoxicated. Didn't really remember my performance, but I had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And
And
you killed it.
my kitty girls at Lion's Lair were so nice about all of our performances.
Yeah.
And that just gave me the motivation to just keep going.
And we had like, it is so brave that you did it by yourself, because we have the benefit of doing it all together. And it really is empowering, all of us being together doing it, because it's like, okay, I can't like turn back now because we're all doing it kind of
Yes.
thing, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
again,
Which is like
snaps
so-
to you, girl.
so often for me to do, to give up on something. I like kind of go through phases in life. And I'm just really happy to have like almost accountability levers to keep me like on this path, because that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Fredward.
That is fucked up.
That was a
Don't
slur.
ever say
That
that
was a
again.
slur.
Instagram says.
Yeah,
Oh.
bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shut the
okay.
fuck up.
It's my full name.
You're not allowed to call him that. Nobody calls him that.
I'm his Beyonce.
Yeah. That's my Fred word.
My first performance was to I Want to Break Free by Queen.
I want to break
And
free.
I-
Yeah,
That was
vacuum.
good. That was good.
Yeah, I spray painted a vacuum pink, and I dressed up like the music video, because Freddie Mercury does drag in the music video to that song.
Which is like such a perfect introduction
Yeah.
to your drag.
And I love a
you.
good like
Aesthetic.
gender fuck drag, like
Yeah.
man doing
I am
drag.
a woman
Yeah.
dressed as a man dressing as a woman. It has
Yeah.
layers.
Beautiful.
Layers.
You're like an ogre.
yeah. You're like an
An
onion.
onion. Yeah, so that was my first performance. I feel like it was
And you
good.
killed it.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
one of our like favorite local queens who's like a legend to us.
Mother above mother.
What's her name again?
Freedom
rights, everybody.
They- She was there hosting that night, right?
Yes.
By
Yeah.
the graces of God.
God.
And
Yes.
she was very
ate us
kind.
all up. She
Yeah.
was so sweet. She's still so sweet every time I see her. I love her.
Yeah.
My first number was to Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler. And
good.
yeah, I the way that I kind of go about like finding my songs, it's really opened me up to having to listen to a lot more music, because I really am more like, oh, I find an album that I obsess over and just listen to that. But I've had to expand, because I listen to a song and I'm like, then I imagine myself doing it. And there was one night that you guys, hopefully your brother doesn't listen to this. We were watching your brother's house, and you were like, "Let's come, like you guys should come over and we can, do makeup."
my
And you really
God.
wanted to put me in like your drag makeup, and so we did that. And we
Hopefully
were
he doesn't hear this.
right, and we were all like,
why did you say that?
we were all like, "Oh, what performance would you do?" And just Holding Out for a Hero came to my head because of Shrek, and I kind of just stuck with it because I was like, I do love this song.
Yeah.
So
You love a good like high energy feel good song.
yeah, and so that was mine, and I felt like you said, it's hard to look back and watch, but in the moment I felt happy and in love with what I was doing.
Yeah.
Good.
I only just recently went back and watched my videos like for the first time. I'm like, I haven't
like-
seen any of these.
It's like hearing yourself like on like audio. It gets easier.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
I haven't watched any of the videos of myself, and I plan to keep it that way.
That's okay.
I don't blame you. Took me a long time, girl.
That means I'm just counting on my friends to tell me what I did wrong in the
I was just about to
performance.
say, I was like, we'll just tell you how to fix
Yeah.
it.
Seriously, honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually have my notes right here.
let me pull out my list. We went the same way. We went for the
Rolls
same
off.
joke.
It's like we're Beyonce's or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I guess this is it. I mean, we hopefully have a lot more to come, but maybe we
Yeah,
can
hopefully.
This is
Hopefully.
a one
We might break
episode.
up. I don't know.
This is a once in a lifetime listen. Yeah, I think, stick around for week after week as we come to you with, our progress in drag, things we love, pop
just,
culture
like,
stuff.
Us talking.
And
like,
us talking,
Yeah.
bitches, we're fucking funny. And so, really, what you need to get on the train with is just listen to funny people. Keep scrolling because it's right here.
I've been thinking more people need to listen to funny people. Like I've literally been thinking that. And by the time this episode airs, I have a performance tomorrow. Polly Amethyst over here helped me make this beautiful dress. I hated making it, but she helped me like put it together. It's just like cardboard cake dress. I'm gonna do a number tomorrow. I'm really nervous about it, but I'll tell you how it goes after when I
She's
check
gonna
back
be
in.
so cunt. Like
Yes.
like we are all super hypercritical of ourselves, but like from seeing that outside, like I just already know that it's gonna be cunt.
And
gonna
like
slay.
even like it just shows the effort you put in compared to literally everyone else. So that's all that I care about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, mommy.
Well,
What's a good outro for this thing?
oh my god, I know. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this very first episode of Life is Drag, and then you die.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.